You are very, very lucky you don't have more viruses on your machine. You know my mind is eroded. Someone help me. I feel like I'm exploding. Little Johnny in the leisure suits.
Who?
Johnny in the leisure suit. Chicago's own Jonathan Brandmeier. Radio legend.
Don't know what that is.
Oh, man, that was the guy back in Chirac here when I would actually get up early in junior high. And he was the guy that did the morning show on the Loop FM 98, everybody. He's the guy when you listen to No Agenda at the beginning of every show. It's Crackpot and Buzzkill. That's Johnny B that says that. He is the crackpot. And his sidekick, Buzz Killman, was the Buzzkill. So John and Adam, not even their original bit. That was
a remake.
Yes,
everything's a remake.
It is. It was Johnny B, man. Johnny in the morning, as long as I could be. So how you doing? It's a beautiful Friday, a little different than last week.
Little bit.
A lot of people still spun up and lying. That's the one sad thing about the whole situation is that the liars are going to continue to lie.
Mm-hmm.
The mainstream media are going to continue to lie, like the Jimmy Kimmel thing.
Oh, yeah, the Jimmy Kimmel thing. We might as well, right?
Yeah, Donald Trump got him fired, man. Donald Trump, man, he's using the government to take down Jimmy Kimmel.
What, free speech? What, you like free speech from conservatives but not liberals? Is that it? Huh?
Right.
Huh? Yeah.
And they don't understand the story. I mean,
they don't care.
No. I don't think most people understand ABC is not like CNN. Any of these cable networks, it's owned by the cable network. CNN's owned by CNN. Fox News owns Fox. And when it comes to the broadcast, which ABC, CBS, NBC broadcast channels in Chicago, the ABC affiliate may not be owned by the same person as the ABC affiliate in Boston, which may not be owned by the same person as the ABC affiliate in New York. And a couple of these large groups, Sinclair being one of them, said, yeah, we're not going to carry Kimmel anymore until he apologizes and makes a fairly large donation to the Kirk Foundation or whatever it was. I don't know if it was Turning Point or to the Kirk family. But that is what the affiliates themselves came up with.
Free speech, man. Free speech.
It's like that's the government can't tell you to shut up, but your boss sure can.
Yep. That's something that people seem to have not understand is that your job is only there as long as you make your boss happy in whatever means that is.
But this is a part of, if we can reference No Agenda, who just had their 1800th episode, man. They were talking years ago about Noodle Boy.
Yeah. And
this is exactly Noodle Boy. Like, oh no, man, they can't. I don't care what my boss says, man. Why does he get to tell me what to do?
Yeah.
And I guess this is continuing on, that there's still a breakdown that people don't understand, that if you're employed by somebody who is paying you, they can decide to fire you for any reason. Jimmy Kimmel could have walked in and they could have looked at him and went, whoa, yeah, your shirt's untucked. You're fired.
Yep.
No matter. They can do whatever they want. It's the beauty of the whole thing.
Except that if he changes sex, then they can't fire him. But
can you really change sex?
Well, of course you can't, but they can pretend that he does.
True. There are certain things that are protected.
Yeah.
But this is where the insanity comes, and people that are pushing this, like the government's having him shut down. It's like, well, no, it was their own affiliates who have had enough of it, and they want to ignore entirely. And this is something, again, I have not been following it closely, but Bill O'Reilly has, because one, he's old. He runs his own news organization, and he's an author.
News organization, please.
It's more of a news organization than Unrelenting.
He runs a basement desk. Okay.
But he is an author, the number one best-selling nonfiction author.
Yeah, I can tell you how much that costs.
I know it costs you some cash, but the reality is
$120,000. Anybody can be a best-selling
people that, but that's irrelevant. The people that ABC, NBC, CBS have had on their airwaves that are conservative leaning over the last decade, zero.
Yeah.
You go back and you look at who were the guests on all of these late night shows, all of these allegedly news shows, Sunday morning news shows. Nobody of a conservative bent is allowed to talk, but they don't think that's censorship at all. It's hilarious. And then Jimmy Kimmel gets fired, and I'm sure he cried, because he cries about everything.
That's true. We know that.
And I don't know. One, I'm still amazed that Jimmy Kimmel made it to the level that he did, being that it's being mentioned in the troll room, too, that, he started with the Man Show.
Yeah.
Going into blackface, pretending he was the mailman, Karl Malone. He had girls jumping on trampolines. It was a very sexist show, but in a funny way, I thought.
Yeah, it was a show. Look, I don't think either he nor the other guy had anything to do with the content of that show. They were paid performers, jumping monkeys. But that show clearly was created to tap into selling beer ads.
They had a lot of beer to sell.
That's what they were for. They were there to sell beer to the people that drink beer, which would be people that live around Chicago.
Well, that would be malt liquor.
Oh, really?
Colt 45.
Is Chicago just completely black now, or
used
to have a pretty big lower middle class white population as well?
Well, I'm just going by the fact
heritage variety.
I'm just going by the fact that the people that are killed in Chicago are 80% black. So, there must be 80%.
It used to be Gary, Indiana was more of the actual black part of Chicago.
Now, Gary's probably the nice part now. It's not really nice. I saw, again, you see these guys that do the YouTube videos where they go in. And there are some areas that you're still like, man, I can't believe people even live under those conditions. But it's usually in liberal run places where they refuse to clean up the streets when there are drug addled people that are committing crimes, shooting up in the streets and that. And they go, don't want to clean that up. That would be inconvenient.
They're just killing white women for fun.
Right. No, that we can't have that. We can't put those people in jail. I saw an article that even there are lawmakers in Illinois now who are going, this cashless bail thing, no good. There was one case where a guy had like 24 counts of child porn or something, and they're like, well, can't hold him. There was another that had 50 sex offenses, and again, nope, can't hold him. No bail. It's like, this is the insanity of, okay, we've caught you, whatever those 50 sex offenses are, raping, assuming that's in there somewhere. And you're going, well, no. We can't hold you on bail. It's rude to hold you on bail. Go back out there and, pinky swear, promise to behave and not rape anybody and come back for your court date in 6 months. Sure. It's like, this is the kind of insanity that the conservatives are finally maybe standing up a little bit more. I don't know how much of a swing the assassination of Charlie Kirk will bring. I know it is seemingly opening up thousands of new turning point chapters.
Yeah, well, you'd expect that to be the case, sure.
At least instantaneously.
Yeah.
But I think that's something that has been growing already. It's not like this is the only reason. I mean, I think Charlie Kirk, was doing fairly well.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that when people continue to look around, although I think most are still buried in their screens, so I don't know what percentage. That's always my question. Like, well, what percentage of people are just going to be so far down that rabbit hole where, it used to be walking down the street. If you saw a big burly dude, you saw somebody that looked shady, you were like, man, I maybe want to go to the other side of the street because I'm afraid for my safety.
Right.
Now, after I've seen enough TikTok videos of young college age females responding to the Charlie Kirk thing, I am more afraid of 18-year-old girls than anything else, because they seem like they're totally unhinged. It seems like they believe that it's okay to murder somebody if they have different viewpoints than you do.
Yeah.
And there was,
exactly.
I don't remember the college where the professor was from, but there was a class that there was a guy was breaking up, which again, I know there's bias. I don't know what was in the entirety of the video, but there was a college age girl that the professor was asking, questions. They were talking about the Charlie Kirk thing. Of course, the kids are like guns, 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 guns. And the professor is like, it's not about guns.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not realize that yet? I just don't you don't think any mass atrocities. There's never been people that were run over by cars. There's never been people that have been poisoned. There's never been people that have been stabbed. There's acid thrown out. There's all sorts of ways to do people harm.
Yeah.
Without guns. So he's like, this isn't about that. And he asked the girl, what are you most afraid of in light of the assassination of Charlie Kirk? And she said, without any sense of, I think, self-understanding, well, I'm afraid that people will think he was killed too young and they will take up his message and continue spreading what he was spreading.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh my.
Nazism, obviously.
Right. It's like, oh my God, how do you come back from this? How do you come back from that kind of indoctrination?
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can. So but you can't live in the same society with people who are law-abiding citizens because you don't care about the law. You think it is more important that you take one for the team and take out the bad Nazi.
Yeah.
So it's
how they think.
It's going to be interesting. It is. It really is going to be interesting to see where this society goes, because it could very easily.
Unfortunately, I don't think this is the last assassination by the left that we're going to see.
Now, honest question. Do you think we're going to see any from the right?
Wait, at some point, there are mental cases out there. The right is not immune to it. I think the difference is that the left has the combination of people with mental illness combined with a very heavy indoctrination that says violence to speech is acceptable. So on the right, it's generally been taught that violence as a response to speech is not acceptable. So you can have violent response to violence. You can have a violent response to other things, but not to speech. So, I think here's what I think will probably happen. What's likely statistically, we will continue to see more people being assassinated for things they said from the left. And when we'll have more people not just displaying firearms when threatened by BLM or somebody else, but actually using them. So more Kyle Rittenhouses,
right?
Meaning response to threats, and more assassinations by the left.
Well, I think you have to defend yourself. I think that is one of the main things. Yeah. And when violence comes your way, that you show that you can return it. Maybe that helps tamp down the insanity of folks. I mean, I think it's hilarious in a very morbid way that the idiot that killed Charlie Kirk was afraid of being shot upon capture.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he understood that Utah still has the firing squad as an option for the death penalty.
To see that be utilized, frankly.
Well, I think it sends a message, and I think you almost have to send that message. Now, I don't know what the mentality is of the law enforcement judges in Utah, whether I think there's a very strong possibility they do what they did with Kohlberger in Idaho, Washington, whatever that was, where it comes down to, hey, if you confess and tell us what we want to know, we take the death penalty off the table. And I think that's a bad idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Because in this case, I think you need to show that there are repercussions of a massive variety rather than, you're just going to live out your life in prison.
The legal argument for this is going to be that there's zero likelihood that he would do this again if he simply served a life sentence, which is 20 years, and then released after that. Right, he's not going to go and commit another violent act. He has zero record of criminality. That just because he did this once, it was a crime of passion. He was doing it for his boyfriend. That's all the arguments they're going to use.
And I think the ABC guy took way too much heat from everybody about but it was kind of touching that, the way he referred to my love I was trying to protect you, my love. And
yeah, that was clearly a written statement. That was not a text conversation. That was obviously prepared ahead of time to keep the other person out of it.
Well, yeah, I did. Gene, I was just trying to protect you.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want you to know what I was doing. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
But I think it shows.
You didn't do anything, did you?
Right. That's very scripted. You did what?
Yeah.
I am shocked. I am stunned.
Also, CNN can't bring themselves to say boyfriend or lover or anything else. It has to be a roommate.
Right.
What is this? The 1970s where two gay men living together are called roommates now?
Bosom buddies, everybody.
Really? Is that where we are? The Odd Couple?
Right. Okay. At least the ABC guy was acknowledging
roommates.
The relationship. And I've heard from some people like, well, this had nothing to do with the case. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, no, I think the fact that he's in love with a trans dude who's going from male to female is very important in the ideology.
Have something to do with it. I don't know. Maybe.
It's like the ideology of you shot a guy who was like, well, how many trans shooters have there been? Trans is bad. Trans kids bad.
Uh-huh.
And of course, the media doesn't want to talk about that part of it.
Uh-huh.
Because that's the last thing they want to be, which is this guy was indoctrinated by a radical trans movement and, of course, went and killed somebody.
Or how about just the trans movement? That's probably good enough.
Yeah, I would say it is all fairly radical when it comes down to it. Not really a group known for not having mental issues.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just statistically. I mean, if the statistics showed that 95% of the people who went trans were happy and lived happy lives, that would be great.
They're not gay, though, are they?
No, not at all. Not at all. Or furries. That's a totally different thing, too.
Furries, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. That was also the other thing that was coming out about this guy was like he was playing some furry video games and just very bizarre stuff. It's going to, I think show that he was a little bit wacko, but this is also a very fine line because if you want the punishment, you can't be like, well, he was just crazy. It's like, well, no, crazy is a hell of a defense. Insanity is a defense. You have to show.
But again, it's arguable which is worse because, commitment to a facility is for a lifetime, unlike prison, which is 20 years. if somebody is ill, they don't get better. They're still crazy.
No, we'll feed you the latest SSRIs. You'll be great.
Yeah. If they're a criminal, then there's a probation that happens within 20 years.
Well, I mean, it seems like you're making the case that this guy really isn't a danger to society.
That's why I said that's going to be their whole case.
He's a fine.
Zero danger from him. He's done the one criminal act he's ever going to do.
He's a fine, upstanding MAGA kid.
Which, yeah.
Obviously.
Look at his dad's a sheriff. How can he possibly be bad?
I don't think the dad wasn't a sheriff, was he? He was
well, deputy, whatever.
Something.
He was in law enforcement. His dad was in law enforcement.
And I love it when
he resigned as a result of that, frankly, being a bigger punishment probably than what this guy's going to get.
And I love that the parents turned him in. God bless the parents who were like, that had to be a very interesting conversation. Like, hey, little Jimmy, this murderer on TV looks a lot like you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I'm thinking that people that are Mormons in Utah talk like they were from the Deep South, but just trying to.
They also, I don't think we're Mormons, but yeah.
I thought they were.
No. Who's reporting that? Who's reporting they're Mormons?
Sorry, having a little bit of a liquid death and taking those.
I hear, yeah.
Having a little bit of the pills. Oh, so we've got a couple in here. Let's see. Let me finish these out here.
What are you finishing out?
Just some metoprolol.
B?
Some
metoprolol. Oh, for the old ticker.
Got that. You got the flecainide. Got some CoQ10 and some taurine. Keeps everything going.
You're doing the full load.
Got to do the full load. Well, I did about 45 minutes before the show. I did some of the glycophenine or whatever the generic brand of Mucinex is.
Yeah.
To clear out.
It doesn't actually do anything, though, right?
It thins out that mucus, man.
So that's what I always thought, right? Because that's what their ads say. But apparently, Mucinex is on the verge of being removed from drug use due to a lack of studies showing that it works any better than the sugar pill.
Glycophenine? Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen that. It is a very mild drug, so it's not like it's bound to do
it before,
bound to do you any harm or anything. Because I'm like, hey, how much of this can I take? And my doctor was like, as much as you want.
Yeah, it's good. That doesn't actually work. So yeah,
he's like, he said it does do the thinning of the mucus to the point to where he even suggested it to women who were having trouble conceiving.
Mm-hmm.
Because it helps with allegedly thinning the mucus. Now, I don't know what percentage, what dosage you would need to take or what's the difference between that and something like a good hot pepper. Because I mean, I find the immediate relief with that over the drugs. I mean, as long as you like the spicy food, you go and you have a little bit of a hot wasabi or something, or a nice hot and sour soup, and man, you're like, I am cleared up now.
This week, the Food and Drug Administration determined that the country's leading decongestant is really no better than a sugar pill. In a unanimous vote on Tuesday, the agency said the key drug phenylephrine found in Sudafed PE, Mucinex, and Dayquil, and other oral medications simply not effective.
Yeah, but that's not what the drug that I'm taking. So that maybe that's part of a Mucinex.
Oh, you're not doing Mucinex.
It is the glycophenine, which is like the Mucinex, but not the DM.
Oh, okay.
So there's so many different drugs. I mean, this is also, thank God for RFK Jr., man.
Yeah, he's going to sort them all out.
Or take them all. I don't know.
Well, whichever, same difference, yeah.
Which is good. Let people know what works.
I think he's doing something. I haven't seen concretely what exactly has come out of him doing things, but I think he's doing something.
A lot of arguing with other people in Congress is about all that's going on.
Yeah, and that's fine. I don't like it when people agree too much.
I agree with you there.
Well, you shouldn't. Just think for yourself.
That's where the whole show goes downhill. If I start agreeing with Gene, he becomes
somebody clip that moment.
he becomes very concerned. I know dude named Ben never agrees with you though, so
he doesn't. No, he's gonna stand on that forever. I think
he's like Gene's on that hill.
We've got a delayed release of that show, and it's looks like that's pushed back to Sunday. We keep shooting for Thursday, and one of the two of us keeps missing that shot.
Is that you or him?
When I refer to myself in the third person.
Sometimes.
Rarely.
You never know. So it's all dude named Ben's fault.
No, I didn't say that. But if you infer that, that's fine.
I didn't say that. I did not say that. Exactly. That's
start being creative languagist.
It's the way it goes. You got to say it in just the right way. I don't really keep up with that show or any other show.
Mm-hmm.
I find it ruins my shows because I find if I listen to Glenn Beck when I'm doing my shows, then hear me saying some of the same things, and I'm like, well, am I saying exactly what Glenn Beck says, or is this what it was O'Reilly? Oh no, is this what? Oh, geez. So I try to keep that to a minimum. I just try to read more news.
Really? Okay, because I mostly listen to you just to get my O'Reilly fix.
See, there you go. You get the one step removed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he has had some good information. I mean, the fact that he and the president interact gives him a slight bump over 95% of the podcasters / newscasters.
Of newscasters interact with Trump. That's not even a big thing these days.
Well, he's known him for 35 years.
Yeah.
And he's one of the few that probably were like, he'll actually give him his opinion, not the one he wants to hear, which I don't know. That's the other issue with politics today. It is so.
He'll even do it live.
You got to do it live. You got to do it live. I like when Bill had the more, he's calmed down now. I get it. He's old. He knows he's coming down to the end of the run. I like when he was a little bit more, or less agreeable. Like when
more spicy,
that Irish temper coming out.
Yeah.
But he's the one that's been right on there, man, with quite interestingly, which is why I started watching O'Reilly when COVID hit, because I wasn't going to watch CNN, certainly wasn't going to watch MSNBC, and Fox News was just the 24/7 thing was part of the problem. So O'Reilly was great because it was 40 minutes 4 times a week.
Yeah.
You weren't overwhelmed with things. And the thing that I quickly realized was that he and No Agenda were aligned way more than non-aligned. Yeah. And his mission, because he worked in the media and he sees what's happening, has been to report how the media lies, how they don't allow the conservative voices on, and all the kind of similar stuff that No Agenda does.
O'Reilly forever holds the distinction of being a key member of the people that made Fox. Fox became Fox partly because of him.
Oh yeah, huge show, huge ratings. I think when he was in his
Fox, they thought, that Irish guy.
I think O'Reilly, if I'm remembering correctly, would do 7 million or so in viewership when he did the show live, the first run. And then when the rerun hit for the other coast, for the West Coast, 4 hours later, I think he still did like another 3 million on the repeat. So he was getting like 10 million viewers a night, which is, you look at these late shows and they're like, how many people?
An average YouTuber. Yeah.
Well, it's like you look at what did Jimmy Kimmel have? Well, about 1 million. These late night guys.
Which is hilarious, right? Because again, looking at YouTube, it is a fairly average YouTuber that has 1 million. Well, I shouldn't say average. It's not an average, but it's an average successful YouTuber that has 1 million, of which there are probably 1 million of those that have an audience of 1 million or more. I mean, it is the bar is so damn low in old media right now that they're nowhere near the ratings, if you will, of what the top YouTube people are getting. Yeah, there are videos that have hundreds of million views.
Oh,
not
yeah,
1 million.
Well, because they last much longer.
Yeah, they're not live.
They're not live, but it's something where if you put out a video today, and I know he doesn't have billions of people, but Bandrew with the microphone reviews, reviewing a RE320 10 years ago.
Right.
People are still going to that today, like review RE320. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Let's see what the current estimate. About 69,000 YouTube channels have at least 1 million subscribers as of mid-2025.
Yeah. And that's subscribers. And typically subscribers are about 1%. So the number of views that a channel has, a million subscriber channel gets a lot more than 1 million views of a single video.
Yes, and that annoys that's the one thing I love. A lot of these creators, like Rick Beato's one of them.
Yeah.
But you hear way too much. Wow, a lot of you are watching these, but you're not subscribing, man. Come on, can you please subscribe? Please subscribe. Please subscribe.
Well, it's because they make money off of that.
Well, yeah, I get it.
So
I get it. It's really okay. So we're translating. Please give me more money. Please give me more money.
Yeah. Exactly.
I get
I'm
it.
just happy that Rick is finally on the AI train.
He's like, I don't like it. I can tell it's AI. But I will
damn good.
I will give him credit. Even when he was against it and didn't like it, I think he realized that it was on the pathway. Yeah. He wasn't one of these people like AI will never be able to.
Right. The never guys. Yeah.
And you look at the amount of AI created content. And with the music, especially, it's something that is very easy to notice. Go watch any made for TV, low budget movie. Go watch any Hallmark movie, which fits into that category. Where it's like, well, they would love a song that sounds like Taylor Swift, but they can't afford to pay for a Taylor Swift song. So now it's beautiful. You go into an AI like, give me a song that sounds like this, but won't give me a copyright strike.
So I don't know if you watch any of these, but I've posted a few of these video from Don P. Bongwater.
Which is still a great name.
It's a great name, yeah. Who has been making AI generated video content now for a while, like probably 6 months is a long time in this field.
Yeah, huge.
And what his started doing, which really brought him from 0 subscribers to whatever he's got now, thousands, is putting in popular, like millions of subscriber Twitch and YouTube people in as characters, because nobody will promote you as much as people that love seeing themselves.
As long as you are not putting the wrong words into their mouths.
Right. Well, but even still, I mean, he's taking a lot of liberties in the way he makes these guys, but they're all comedic exaggerations, right? So they're all made in good fun. And of course, all these people are watching themselves, the cartoon versions, basically, of themselves, and enjoying it, at least to some degree, not completely. And so his latest one that I just sent to you and a few other folks on our private No Reporters Allowed channel is he's getting to be like half-hour long video. You know, they're not feature length movies, but they're sure as hell episodic length.
Oh yeah, which is under 20 minutes now.
Yeah, and relating to the music, why I mentioned it is that he's the guy that kind of zeroed in on generating puppets through the video. which is why I kind of sent that to you because I know how much you like puppets.
Elmo says, wow!
Exactly. And so he's got these movies, these shows full of puppets.
Look at the tits on that broad!
That talk like you just did. And it's all using like AI generated 1930s style music.
Well, what else would you use? Little Dixieland
puppets,
jazz.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that pre-World War II music, where you got a mix of jazz and then like depressionary music and then like vaudeville, and it's very distinct when you hear it. You're like, "Yep, I get it. That's from that era," and it's hilarious because it is of the quality, certainly, of what we've seen from the Muppet movie and all these different old kind of puppet productions that people used to watch.
Well, in puppets, the beauty is the lip syncing doesn't have to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you're using a character that is more photorealistic, if
Sure.
the mouth doesn't match, but nobody expects the mouth to match.
Yeah, that like all the puppets in this latest one, there are the Blue Mountain Jews.
They're your people.
Yeah, well, from Kentucky and stuff, but yeah,
You could walk right with that beard. You could walk right into Kentucky, man.
I could be a puppet with that beard.
People be like, "Look at this! Oh yeah, here we go, hill folk."
It did. Don P. Bongwater, it has a similar beard, but yeah.
But the reality is with the AI, and these are some of the things that are getting better. It seems by the day, because the site that I use, they have the WAN 2.2 video creation, which that does some really good quality. But they now have where people are mashing this up, where you can add an audio an audio track to it, which is just very bizarre. So you can take a still photograph, an audio of somebody speaking, and it will animate the photo and sync the lips to make it look like that person is saying the words on the audio file. And the quality, again, I think is at the point where it would fool most people. I noticed nobody came in with 10,000 sats like, let's play that game. Was it real or is it not? They're afraid. They are afraid. Because I also saw a video the other night. I have to find it and download it maybe this afternoon of a text to speech that has 8 different sliders from, angry, surprise.
Send me a link for my dad for this stuff. Remember I mentioned too, he's getting really into the whole AI. He's actually deep in the weeds now. He's programming.
Ooh.
Yeah, which he's always liked to do anyway. But I guess he's decided to dive into the whole open source AI voice generation thing.
Well, maybe he can have something that'll really take off and then grow your nest egg.
Well, yes, but he's mostly focusing on Russian language, but yes.
Oh, well, I see. He's trying to take over Russia. Is he trying to have a little bit of an overthrow?
Yes, he's trying to give Ukraine a win for this one. It's like, how do we make Putin sound like he's threatening to nuke everybody? Let's get him.
And that is the danger with this kind of technology.
Yeah,
that is the danger. I mean, okay, the Putin thing, a little harder to believe, but per our conversation on the last show, where we both agreed that people that say insane things like we are happy that somebody got murdered, and there was one woman who added on that, well, now we have to get his kids and wife.
Yeah, insanity.
All I'm thinking at the same time is, if I have a still photograph of somebody and a clip of their voice, I can make a video appear of making it look like anybody's saying anything, which is also a very dangerous place to be, because while I believe people should be held accountable, and I know you do as well, it's like you want to make sure the right people are being held accountable.
Yeah.
Not that somebody took a photo of Gene and like, haha, watch this.
Well, and it's not a hard thing to figure out based on past things they've said.
Well, this is also true. If it's something that is completely out of character.
It's yeah.
So, I mean, if we have Gene saying Elon Musk is the worst, we'd be like, no, that's not Gene.
That's not going to fly. Yeah.
That's not it. That's not at all. But most people,
423, baby.
Most people don't look that far into the, I saw a video and it looked like he said it.
Mm-hmm. Well, the one that's floating around right now, well, there's a bunch of them actually, but one of them is like, oh, that guy didn't shoot Charlie Kirk. It was that guy standing next to him that used a secret pistol hidden in his fist. It's like, and that it'd be ridiculous if it was just a couple of people, but there's a whole huge group of people that believes that, almost as many people as believe that the Jews killed Charlie Kirk. Yes, the number one Christian supporter of Israel was killed by Jews. Yeah, that's super likely.
Wait, that didn't happen?
Yeah, exactly.
I thought for sure. I mean, it was on the internet.
Who else kills people other than Jews, right? I mean, if you look up the FBI statistics, it's pretty damn obvious. It's got to be Jews because, they represent roughly 1% of the population.
Yeah, so statistically, most likely then.
Yeah.
Well, I like Michael Savage, who I don't really follow, but I know, again, big radio guy.
Yeah.
And he was going after Candace Owens, who I guess Candace Owens was one of them.
Batshit crazy.
Yeah. Well, this again is the problem with society when more than the average amount of people start going absolutely insane. But Savage just went on a savage rant, if I can use the pun, with dropping the expletives and all that. And he's like, so, let me understand this. The all-powerful Jews went after and were able to kill Charlie Kirk.
Right.
But you're going to say that you're going to expose them. But wouldn't that mean if they're all powerful, why haven't they killed you then?
Yeah. Well, the variant of what you just said, which is, I think, freaking hilarious, is the number of people saying, oh, well, you can't talk about Israel and AIPAC. That's the one thing you can't talk about. Literally everybody is talking about Israel and AIPAC that you can't talk about. Like, oh, okay. When's the last time you talked about, I don't know, an actual terrorist organization with the same amount of, you can't talk about them because they'll take you out. Yes. It's only AIPAC that'll take you out, and nothing else in this world is dangerous to talk about. How about you put up a picture of Muhammad while you're saying that and see what fucking happens? Jesus Christ.
You think that'll go poorly?
Oh, well, let's find out. I'd love to find out. There's nothing better than actual tests to see what happens.
Okay,
so like South Park puts up a picture of Charlie Kirk and he gets killed the next week.
So what do we need, like AI Bemrose?
They try to put up a picture of Muhammad, their show gets canceled.
Just go off on a rant.
Yeah, it's the Jews that are the danger. Absolutely.
You think people have logic? No,
we know that.
They do not. And the conspiracy theories would be funny if it wasn't so, again, scary. And when you realize the level of radicalization of young college, especially females, it seems. I mean, I'm sure
it seems like it's 80% females that are jeering about how great it is that a young married man has lost his life to a deranged killer.
Yeah. It's very concerning.
This is because we've had now multiple generations of women conditioned that killing children is the best thing you can possibly do.
Yeah, well, that's true. Got to have the abortions, man.
Yep.
It's the insanity.
No, this man tried to talk to women and tell them that getting an abortion is not good. He needs to be killed.
How dare he have a viewpoint?
Mm-hmm. He should be post-aborted.
This is where you need more just sanity, but I don't know if there's any way to bring that out, because Dave Rubin pointed out when he was playing a clip of one of the few things I did see of Bill Maher, who was talking to the guy from the Smashing Pumpkins. Now that I heard the Bill Burr half brother,
I was waiting for that. I talked about, I really want to see Bill Maher's reaction, see what he has to say after this happened, this tragedy, because it was like he was just on Bill Maher's show just recently. Like they had literally just sat down and talked a month ago. Charlie Kirk. Yeah,
which I think makes sense. His reaction looked literally shell-shocked, and he's like, I might drink a little more in this episode, which...
Well, they also put out that show about a month, I think 3 weeks after shooting it. So I think his reaction, they probably filmed that show like the next day after the actual shooting and then rushed to put it out, because normally that he's got a longer delay on that run.
Which makes sense as well, because it's people chasing that story, which it's ghoulish, but when people are making money, then you want to be the first, and that doesn't make it right, but it does not have the same weight. If you and I did a Charlie Kirk special and then didn't release it for 6 months, by then people are like,
weird.
It's like, so you got to be like, it's got to be hot. You got to pull this stuff out hot.
Yeah. And to be fair, that show is not topical, right? It's just a sort of a interviewing while
getting
Bill
high.
drinks and smokes pot.
Yeah. Which is a great idea for a show if you can make money at it. Just sit back and relax.
Sitting here drinking non-alcoholic drinks while taking drugs. So
yeah, we're very close. I'm drinking Liquid Death.
I'm drinking iced tea.
The Fruity Pebble version.
Basically the same thing.
Kind of. We do have a few people that had boosted.
And Bill Maher does say, I don't know if this is true, but he claims at least that the only pot he smokes is the pot he smokes on that show.
Which is why he's doing the show every day.
Yeah, right.
It's like, that's it. It's just
more
an excuse.
Episodes, baby. More episodes.
It is just an excuse, but at least I'll give Maher credit that he wants to talk to people that disagree with him. And I think more people need to have that mentality, which is once you sit down, especially with Maher, where it's in the same location, like the people that come in for Joe Rogan, you're sitting across the table. You are making a human connection. It is not over the internet watching somebody else on the screen. So I think it brings it much closer home.
It's literally in his basement in his house in LA.
And it brings people then much closer. There is that, as he said, he liked Charlie Kirk. Do I agree with him? No, but I liked him. So the fact that somebody killed him.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what his politics were. I think this is.
No. And I think he was surprised by Charlie Kirk's acceptance of other ideas. Like, the reputation that Charlie Kirk was settled with by the liberal media and by extremists on the left is that he is a literal Nazi, which is something they like to say. Where I think the impression that Bill got from having interacted with him is like, wow, this young man has his shit together and he'd like other people to have their shit together. Maybe he's wrong and people ought to do a little more, pot smoking and debauchery than this guy. But there's nothing inherently wrong with the path or the message that he takes. He's not forcing people. He's not saying concentration camp or get married.
Right.
What he's saying is everyone would be a lot happier if they were to get married and have kids.
Well, and he came at everything from...
Which, I will say statistically is just a false message, because almost 67% at this point of people that get married and have kids get divorced as well. And that is not a happy occurrence. It is a rare phenomenon for people to not get divorced.
I know. That's why I like bucking the trend, baby.
Yeah.
Married back in 1995.
Mm-hmm.
My parents next year will be married 65 years, I think it is.
Yeah, but that's not impressive because people of that generation are all still married.
Most of them are dead.
My parents would still be married. It's
right.
not they just didn't have this idea that getting divorced was a good thing, where people my age all can't wait to get divorced.
But isn't it not just divorce? I think it permeates through every aspect of life, which is, my job's getting a little shitty. I'll find a new one.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't like where I'm just going to go move. I'll do this.
Everything is temporary.
Yes.
It's a gig society.
Which, I mean, hey, if you like that, if you are a human being that thrives on that, great. I think most still do better with consistency if you can do it. I think it's just a different way of the minute something starts getting hard, they bail. Well, that's when you turn out to be a criminal. That's when you turn out not to be successful. There are many, many stories. It's rare for anybody that is massively successful to not have really fucked up and failed at some point in their life. And if you just go, no, just not going to, it's just getting, come on. You think it was easy for Bill Gates to build Microsoft? You think it was easy for
easy. You just
take somebody else's software? I mean, you look at Bezos, and this is the one where I think everybody that's around our age should kick themselves in the ass and understand that this guy, whether you like him or hate him, this guy, when the internet started, borrowed like $10,000, something infinitesimally small, and started selling books out of his parents' garage. Now, every one of us could have done that. It wasn't that hard of a thing to do.
I remember when Amazon started, I thought it was a stupid idea.
I mean, dude, I've had this conversation with so many people about Amazon and other things, and I would have to try to make a list of them, but like Starbucks. Well, no, nobody's going to fucking pay that much money for coffee.
$5 for coffee? Are you nuts?
Right.
Why would you do that?
There's so many of these businesses that have turned into...
Yeah, you got Dunkin' Donuts. That's just dumb. Why would you pay that much?
Yeah, where the coffee's good and you get a fucking donut. I mean, there's nothing better than Dunkin' Donuts.
Exactly.
But there are...
that's true. But and I've talked about my story, my very direct story with Geek Squad, where
with Best Buy?
I met with the guy that created the Geek Squad and talked about merging our companies at the time.
Was that before they had Best Buy?
I could have had like a 30% share of Geek Squad.
That was before Best Buy picked them up?
Yeah, before Best Buy bought them. They bought them about 3 years later, I think, 3 or 4 years.
Probably that had to be a happy day for you.
Oh, dude. And, my whole thing, I was talking to my business partner at the time, and we're like, they're tricking people, because his whole concept when he started that business was it's basically marketing driven. So it's all about image. We want to have these cute little old cars. This is even before the Volkswagen Beetle. They were using these old 1960s like European cars. And it was all just like take the old milk delivery driver image, kind of add a little bit of Dragnet kind of feel to it. You remember that show from the 60s?
Oh, yeah. Great. Henry Morgan.
And then have these goofy 60s looking cars. And he always wore a suit with a thin, skinny tie back when that wasn't popular. And so that was kind of the uniform. And at some point, it kind of transitioned to more of a Blues Brothers uniform with the white shirts and black ties, black suits.
Way cooler.
But in either way, that was all the main focus, whereas the actual knowledge and training of the employees was like in 5th place. And so we thought, well, people are going to figure out that none of these Geek Squad people know jack shit. And they're not ever going to get a repeat customer, because why would you when they can't actually fix your computer?
Right. The thing that they're supposed to be doing.
We passed on doing that. We passed on merging our businesses and being, working with the Geek Squad.
So it's your fault that Geek Squad sucks, because you could have actually brought some technical know-how into the company.
Yeah, exactly. Could have done that. Didn't do it. And it wasn't like the guy that started it was not a technical guy. He was a marketing guy for a technical company, if I remember right. And he had a goofy looking car, and he liked old European retro stuff.
Interesting.
Robert Stevens, I think was his name. You can't trust memory at this age, but I believe that was his name.
And I don't know. I've never taken a computer into the Geek Squad. I can say that's not. And it's never been.
And when Best Buy, I think, bought it for like $32 million or something, and of course they got a bargain at that price.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, we could replace your hard drive. That's what I mean.
But his whole shtick was, I can take a waitress and give her 2 weeks worth of training, and she'll be out there fixing computers as a Geek Squad person. And
then making less than she did as a waitress, most likely.
Well, no. I think they paid decently, but it was all about just like image. Like, people will be happier dealing with somebody that dresses funny than with a guy in jeans and a polo short showing up to do the same thing. Like, they don't want.
So what you're saying is
corporate IT guy, because you remember like CNN.
Yes.
Basically the same thing. You remember Saturday Night Live having skits making fun of the IT guy.
Oh yeah,
because his job, the IT guy's job, is to tell you how you're wrong. So, well, you clearly didn't update Windows to the latest patch here. I could see that. Why didn't you? Why are you trying to break your computer?
No, it would be more like, I see you didn't update Windows to the latest. You are very, very lucky you don't have more viruses on your machine.
There you go. That's a good example. Yeah. So this was like, you're going to deal with somebody that's, working for Dragnet or whatever.
So what we need to do is find a bunch of hot babes and start a computer repair company.
Yeah, or an airline.
Yes. Hey, Hooters Air was a thing for a while.
Was it really?
Yeah. Hooters Air did exist for a while. I think that went.
Did they have any landings or successful landings at all, or just takeoffs?
The pilots were male. So, I mean, there's.
Oh, okay.
But basically, the cabin, the atmosphere was Hooters for the flight, which, I mean, if you're going to fly.
So bad food.
Babes and t-shirts and shorts
over nylons.
Yes.
Okay.
Which was a very weird look, but I mean,
it's a bizarre look. I've never understood the whole Hooters look. It was just like, this is not sexy. The tops are very, very marginally sexy, but the bottoms are not sexy whatsoever.
Geez, like we need more better bottoms. Gotta get better bottoms.
It's just bad bottoms, man. I don't know what to say. It's a thing.
Bad bottoms. No, there's a show title.
There's a show title for you.
Bad bottoms. We'll just take them out, send them out to Hooters Repair Service. There you go. Just hot babes doing anything. Then guys are just like, I don't know, my laptop isn't working. Can you come back?
Yeah.
Can you come back, please?
Pretty much.
Now you just have AI. Guys are just talking to AIs instead.
Yeah, and they're having a grand old time talking to AI, and AI is a cartoon character anime chick now. So,
and for that, referring to Hooters Airlines, the No Agenda Millennial says that business went tits up.
Okay.
I'll give you that one.
Yeah. That was worth that.
We do have a few people to thank for today's show, including Scott Gorman for the $2.50 real money. Seems to be coming in for every show, and nobody else is following along.
Wow.
Follow Scott.
Real money even.
Be like Scott. We need the money.
Yeah.
We are Good podcasters. Deal. We're not in it for the money, obviously.
Obviously.
CSB sent 2870, and I know you had an argument with them again that advertisements are not.
I did not have an argument. He asked the question. It says, if I give you $5, will you do an ad for me? And I said, no, we don't do ads. But I was referring to just the good old boys, because Ben and I have that agreement. We don't do ads. And I said, no, look, if you're going to send money, you send it because you like the show already. You're sending money not for some future benefit you're going to get. You're sending money for the past enjoyment that you've already received.
And I'm not even sure CSB is listening to the show.
And then he didn't send money, obviously, so it's all fine.
He says, "You are evil Russian."
Mm-hmm.
But he sent 2870. I mean, you could have done at least 3333. I mean, magic number it up.
What is 2870 in real money now?
That is probably $3.15. I would guess it's $3.33 at what the crypto is right now.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
But the reality is I could go over to trading.toys and find out.
Mm-hmm.
He says, howdy, Gene and Darren. Well, you don't have to always put howdy in, but it's nice, I guess. It's friendly. Bitcoiners and financial market enthusiasts are welcome to visit my website, www.trading.toys, with 6 tools. Most recently added tool, World Markets Dashboard, with 4 sections: stock markets, currencies, crypto, commodities. Yo, CSB. Now, what is
a weird name for a site that's actually like
useful
for fun? Yeah, for trading. Yeah.
Now, I understand what he means by trading as in Bitcoin, but trading.toys, I just want to let you know, CSB, there is a huge market in the world for actual toys.
I mean, I can't guarantee this, but I would say he could probably make more money selling the website name than he'll ever make off of people using the website.
You like trading.toys. I mean, that's for people
it's basically for enthusiasts of sex toys and others they want to exchange them with.
Well, I mean, sex toys definitely could be a section. I mean, you could have board games. You could have
vintage, sex board games, sex toys,
vintage toys, vintage sex toys,
vintage sex. Yeah, it's all there.
It all works right on in. You could, but I mean, the conversion works where you can just put in Satoshis. Does it go the other way? No, it only goes one way. That's why I like the one with the Kraken website, CSBs. It goes both ways. So why do I have to click a different thing to go from dollars to Satoshis instead of the other way around? But yeah, 2874 is $3.33. He's very predictable, that CSB. We appreciate the 333, but what else? Let's see. Bitcoin, what is World Markets? And I didn't even realize that was a link up on the top. So he's showing what crypto currently is. Oh, wait, now a bunch of things opened up. Currencies opened up.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just scraping a bunch of information here. It shows you with the S&P, the NASDAQ, all the euro.
I'm sure he's not scraping it. I'm sure he's licensing it.
Oh, of course. I wouldn't suggest anything differently. It shows you what currencies are currently and what they were. So it shows you what's going up and going down as far as currencies, commodities. Interesting. Why are you only tracking Bitcoin and Ethereum, though? There's a lot more cryptos. You could put a bunch in there.
Not really. No, he's fine on that.
Bitcoin down 1.57%. Is that in 24 hours, though, CSB? You've got it down, but compared to when?
I'm showing it as flat. Is it really down?
Well, according to trading.toys/WM.
Now, does he tell you what time it would be in Sydney?
No, Sydney Sweeney. I like her. She's kind of cute.
Yeah, we'd know that site should have a time on there as well.
You have to show that. So these are just suggestions, CSB, on what you can make better.
Mm-hmm.
Like the S&P and all that, they're showing slightly in the green, so that's good. The markets are up. They are strong.
Mm. Now, why is Ford down? I don't like Ford being down.
No, I don't like Ford being down either. I actually have some Ford.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any Tesla, though, so it's okay when people start committing violence against those Teslas, those dealerships, the bad, Elon bad.
Yeah, Tesla's up like 700% for me.
So does it show the S&M index, Ben Rose? No,
Yeah, the S&M index should be on there.
It's not on there yet, but I'm sure it'll be added in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody should go to trading.toys. You don't need the www. You could just go to trading.toys. See, Brooklyn came in with 2222 and then another 1,000 and said, fire all the bitches on The View. And then this show has jumped the shark. It's like, dude, this show jumped the shark in like episode 1. The whole point of this show was jumping the shark. And I don't know if you need to fire all the bitches from The View, but
I just need to cancel The View. That's a much easier solution, I think.
Yeah. I mean, The View has morphed into exactly what Bill O'Reilly said. When Barbara Walters ran it, and she was not a conservative, but when she ran it, she wanted people with
it was like females should have a voice in the media, political, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And I think she is flipping in her grave.
Yeah. It's like, what the hell happened? Why aren't you allowing...
This is not the show that she created. It was her show. Not her money, but, her basically signing on to be that person that's relatable. Because no one's heard of any of the other women on that show except for Whoopi Goldberg, who was brought in as the token entertainer.
Yeah. Good old Whoopi.
Uh-huh. Whoopi Cushion Goldberg with a Jewish name and who hates Jews.
Yeah. And our connection died to the live stream, which is this weird stuff going on in the interwebs.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. Whatever.
No, we're solid. That's really all that matters.
I don't think we made a dime off the live stream.
Well, we had that C. Brooklyn came in with the boost, so we made at least a couple of dimes.
Yeah, but that's not from the live stream.
Well, yeah, he's listening live on the live stream.
Well,
that just came in.
I mean,
I think we're back again.
But his donation had nothing to do with what we're talking about.
He did. It said we jumped the shark and that they should fire everybody on The View. That's when we were talking
about The View. That's not a...
We were talking about other things in media.
Ad hoc topic.
It is. Well, it's all... He helped us jump the shark, and then he says we jumped the shark.
So, yeah, it's like, how does you jump the shark work with him bringing up a brand new topic that we're not talking about?
But I mean, yeah, The View, come on. It was such a great show back in Barbara Walters' days.
It was never a great show.
It was at least balanced.
It was always whatever the hell.
Jenny McCarthy was kind of hot when she was on.
Jenny McCarthy was not already hot by the time she was on.
And then Elizabeth Hasselbeck, she was cute. When they brought conservative blondes onto the show, it was a pretty decent to have. Well, at least there were valid, real arguments.
Mm-hmm.
Where now you're just all one side, and if you disagree, you're not even going to be brought on. You're not going to even be allowed.
If I'm wrong here, but was Joy Behar not originally a comedian?
Yes.
Not funny.
No, not at all.
Never was.
And she's named incorrectly as Joy.
Yeah. Yeah. Sour Patch Behar, more like it. Uh-huh.
You buy some Sour Patch Kids with Joy Behar's face on it, that would just make sense.
Yeah, really.
Comic Strip Blogger says thanks with his another 1033.
Mm-hmm.
That's adding on. That's good. I like the add-on. I like the add-on boost.
Well, and the idea of paying us money just to talk to us is not a bad idea, frankly. But
well, that's why we're trying to get Gene AI up and running. See if people will pay. That's where we need to get the
crazy money they're going to pay. Yeah.
Well, this is where I'm very interested to play around with the text to speech that has the ability to make changes based upon emotion, which I understand there are other ways to do the same thing, but this for people setting it makes a lot of sense because the Chatterbox text to speech that we talked about, I think does a really good job, but you are fairly limited as far as the reaction. I mean, if you really want, if you're doing like an audio book or something like that, where you want somebody to read a line and really have them, you can't do that.
And that's literally my dad's complaint and why he started programming this himself is because he just thinks that even the good AI voices are really bad at reading audiobooks. And I'm like, I'm okay with it. I guess I just have low expectations, so I'm totally fine with it. But
Well, there's also been a change. And I asked my wife this about a year or two ago, back when she was still traveling 90 minutes a day, back and forth to work 45 each way, and would listen to a bunch of audiobooks. Because I was always under the impression that audiobooks, as when they started, was a straight reading, meaning they were not trying to do character voices. There were not different people doing the dialogue. Even if the dialogue was a heated argument, it was still read calmly.
Yeah.
You know, she said, "You're a son of a bitch." He said, "Go fuck yourself." You know, it was not acted out. Now I think this is changing.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more of the specialty voices and stuff in there. Yeah, I think you're right.
So the intriguing thing would be if it can go in and add that kind of emphasis to things. And I think that would be easy.
Able to, because the whole idea with AI is that it's all pre-reading this shit.
Yes.
Because you know how books are written is like, "You son of a bitch," said Jane. And so if you're just, whenever you do quotes using a different voice, that's not going to work. Like the AI has to read that entire sentence to realize Jane is saying it and then flip over to the Jane voice for the actual message.
And then I think with the scripting for this, for text to speech, it would be something maybe as simple as adding some kind of shortcut, some kind of symbol, you know, that would tell it what emotional level to read that at.
Well, yes, you could do that to improve it, but that's a hell of a lot of work and really should be done by AI itself.
Well, the AI might be able to do that as well. And then you can adjust on that. Be like, have every...
It's context-based emphasis is what it is.
Yes. And it's getting better with that. But now if you have something that, like if you're trying to do the audio for a car commercial, well, then the people have to sound really happy. You know, buy your new Toyota. Come on, everybody.
Yeah, you're happy about getting that Toyota, which I will say is to say, speaking of AI and cars, some of the funniest damn things are that the black chick that drives the Altima.
The black chick that drives the Altima.
Yeah, there's a whole series of videos. Just, you know, she's hitting all the cars and she's, what's her catchphrase is like dead ass. How have you not seen this? The whole internet's seen these videos.
Well, see, I'm different than the whole internet. The only commercials I see are if they run during a NASCAR race.
No, these are funny videos. They're like making fun of commercials.
No, don't see those. See, you assume I watch all this garbage. I don't have time.
How do you not watch all the things I send you? God damn it.
You know how many things you send me? I don't have that kind of time. They go like, well, gee, let's see. I've got 24 hours a day. I want to sleep for about 8. And Gene's sending 24 hours of videos every day.
26?
Yes. You can watch them at 2 speed, okay?
Yeah. Or 3x like I do. Yeah.
That must really be fun when the picture moves too.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's true. You gotta have eyeballs for those. But yeah.
I've just been watching the guy, and it's very well done, which is the interesting thing about YouTube that I think a lot of people aren't also caught up on. This isn't just people that are like a lot of these guys that do the travel videos where they're using their phone, that's they're holding it in their arms, or they got the selfie stick and the audio is okay. There was a guy that is doing I don't know how many episodes he's done, but he owns a baseball card, sports card store, and he goes around buying collections, but the quality of the production is like you're watching Pawn Stars. And I don't think a lot of people realize how big of the competition now is from YouTube. It's not just individuals making crappy videos. There are people that have cameramen and professional audio, and they're making full-blown productions that 15 years ago would have been on the whatever channel Pawn Stars is on, the History Channel or wherever.
Mm-hmm.
But it would have found a home. But now why? You just post it on YouTube and you make the money.
There was I remember watching a thing. It was an interview. Oh, it was a medical doctor who's very popular in the YouTube space. Dr. Michael something, Dr. Mike. He's got like 15 or 18 million subscribers. Like basically enough where he's not just making a comfortable living, but he's making millions off of YouTube. And he had that old lady from I keep wanting to say Tiger's Den, but the American version of it. The
I don't know what Tiger's Den is.
You know, the show that the like people bring ideas to and then they decide if they want to invest.
Oh, Shark Tank.
Barbara
right. Corcoran?
So yeah, her. So here I had her on for an interview. And it was hilarious because she doesn't know anything about this guy. She doesn't know anything about YouTube. She's not a YouTube person. So he's starting to interview her and her background and how she got, and she's like, I was doing some real estate and somebody mentioned that they're going to do this show that I should come down and audition for and blah, blah, blah. And it was so lucky, I got this show and it's been great. And then he said something to the effect of, well, have you thought about doing some YouTube stuff? And she's like, well, but I've got this show, I'm doing a show. It's like the real deal. And I think she kind of, not in a patronizing way, but a genuine way, kind of said, you should look at maybe taking you got a pretty good production here. You should maybe talk to some folks about getting a TV deal. And he's like, well, I had those conversations about doing something on TV, but they kind of fell through and whatever. But YouTube's basically, it's the same thing. It's like, yeah, except, the television is guy that's got real money. And he just kind of has this big grin on his face at this point. And she's like, what are you making on this thing? And
he's like, let me show you my financials after the.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, oh, no, this, you can make good money on YouTube. She's like, well, what, like, what do you get? You get over $1 million? He's like, tens of millions. And she's like, really? Because she obviously isn't anywhere near in that ballpark. I think she makes probably $1 million a year doing Shark Tank,
which is still really good money.
Yeah, I mean, it's way less if you consider what like news anchors were making for just reading what somebody else wrote.
True.
But given that she's not a trained actress or anything, and she's not particularly attractive, $1 million a year is not bad for that.
No, not for somebody, again, that came from
but then she's, she thinks she's coming on this quaint little YouTube show that some guy's got, and he wants to interview the famous person who's on television. And then I think it was evident halfway through the show, the shell shock that she had of realizing that this dude interviewing me is making 10 times as much as I am. And he's on YouTube.
Well, and I think that is that age range, especially anything older than us, I think falls into that concept, because I think Bill O'Reilly, and I know that people love when I bring up Bill O'Reilly, so I continually do it.
Everyone loves to hear about Bill O'Reilly, the old has-been Fox guy. Go ahead.
Which he has his own thing. And it was a fairly recent,
fired from Fox,
maybe a year ago or so. That he started pushing, hey, I've got a YouTube channel. Before that, it was like, I know nothing about any of this. He still says he knows nothing. It's his people. And you can tell as the time has gone on, every show he's now mentioning the YouTube channel, which says to me, he's getting those reports from his people that are doing this for him going, oh shit, there's real money there.
Yeah.
This isn't just, we're going to post something, which all social media really has been for most of its existence, is that people just post shit and you make nothing. You post the content, you make nothing. Basically. So it's a really big change when you're like, whoa, that's That's I'm guessing his channel at this point, with over the million subscribers, as you said, that's means there's probably 10 million people watching each video.
Yeah. Yep.
Which turns into a nice living.
Yeah.
Probably pays better than him writing the books.
Oh, I'm sure it does. He probably doesn't write the books, though. Most people that have sufficient money get ghostwriters.
I wish I had sufficient money.
Yeah, a ghostwriter. So I mentioned getting a New York Times bestseller is about $125,000. And it's literally, you're just buying them. The way it works is they're calculating the number of sales of books based on pre-orders, usually, not actual orders, but based on pre-orders from physical bookstores. They've excluded Amazon forever. And so it is not an interesting measurement to begin with anymore. It's not relevant, I should say. It's interesting,
right,
but it's not relevant because people don't even know where bookstores exist. Most of them have closed. But New York Times still based on the same formula. And so the way it works is if somebody wants to have a New York Times best-selling book, and I know 4 people that have done this, and in fact, I know one of the guys whose company literally does this for people. They're like, that's their big thing is, if you want to get a New York Times best-selling book with your book, we'll get you there, but it can only be nonfiction. For fiction, it's a whole different battle. But for nonfiction, you could do it with a little over $100,000. And what you do is you publish your book, and the next day you put in orders for those number of books from physical bookstores. And that, at the end of the week, gets you to be a New York Times bestselling author. That's it. That's all it is.
Now, of course,
There's
the books
nothing
that
to do
stay
with
on
quality
there.
work. This is not something that somebody reads and then says, this is a great book. We'll make it a New York Times bestseller. No, it's just saying,
well, it's sales numbers, alleged sales numbers. That's not.
But it's pre-sales, and it's not.
Well, then the books really, that last for like 20 weeks on the bestseller list, are they just keep buying more?
Yes. So the books that last a long period of time are like Hillary Clinton's biography.
Oh, which I mean, what a great read that is.
Which didn't have 100,000 pre-orders. It had $1 million worth of pre-orders spread over multiple weeks to make it last longer into the election season. And this is a typical process. It's all just buying your own shit, essentially. And no one ever takes delivery of these books. In fact, even the bookstores don't take delivery of these books. They just have the pre-orders on file.
You'll be coming to pick those up any day now.
Yeah, and I didn't know any of this until I actually started talking to a guy whose company does this. They generate New York Times bestsellers. It's not at all organic. Now, could it be organic? Not for a first-time author. The only way it gets to be organic is for things like, the J.K. Rowling.
Right, you
on
pick
her,
up an audience.
Not first book.
Right.
But on her second book and onwards, nobody has to fuck with the numbers. Those are real pre-orders. And that's why I said it's for nonfiction, because you can manipulate that. For fiction, it is very different because fiction books tend to spread organically as somebody reads it. They tell their friends that it's a great book. You should buy it.
Well, I would guess way more people read.
Yeah.
For pleasure, read fiction.
Absolutely. I think the fiction market is about 90% of the book market, and all the self-help and how-to books, they all only comprise about 10% of the market.
Yeah, Blitzed in the troll room talking about how they rip the covers off and throw them into the dumpster. Yeah, that was what I learned working at a bookstore back in 1987. The paperback
the cover represents the book. So if you have a destroyed cover, then that book no longer exists, and then that book is resold.
The cover goes back to the publisher. They give you credit back. But can you imagine how much wasted paper that is? I mean, it's horrible just for the environment. But I have a box somewhere of a bunch of books that just don't have covers on them, because when you work for a bookstore, I mean, you're not supposed to, but show me one bookstore where they actually throw out the stuff that anybody wants.
That shit out. No, I from what I've seen is like typically the more legitimate bookstores like Barnes and Noble or what was the other one that used to be popular?
Borders.
Yeah. What they would do
Books
is they would then just sell basically unmarked brown boxes of stuff. And all the small bookstores around that city or the used bookstores would buy those for cents on the dollar. And then you could literally pick up a brand new book with no cover for about $6.
And you're like, why is there no cover? Because the author didn't get paid. That's all.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Because the author didn't make his 3 cents on that book. Yeah.
Sad but true. That's about the amount on there.
And that's where Amazon revolutionized, because I get 30% of that book.
Well, the beauty of Amazon and self-publishing, also, I'm sure this is what a lot of the major publishers are doing. The print on demand has gotten so good that you don't need to.
Yeah, there's no inventory. Yeah.
So the no inventory thing is great. It doesn't take any time to print them. Of course, they can, when the social justice warriors come knocking, that's when the paperback books can change their content at any time, because we just upload a little change here, remove a word, add a word, whatever you want to do. But what do you think right now is the breakdown as far as, have the e-readers finally eclipsed books, or are books still bigger? I haven't read much.
I don't know. I haven't. I bought a few physical books, but not to read. I bought them basically because I think they're going to disappear, and I just wanted to archive them.
Well, you could do that with a nice digital copy as well.
There's a book that I gave Ben for his, I don't know if it was birthday or Christmas gift, I can't remember, that I've had in my family. My parents bought it, so I didn't buy it, but I'm giving it to Ben for like 40 years. And it was a tabletop book of articles from the Charleston Tribune during the Civil War.
Interesting.
So it covers the Civil War period from the Charleston Tribune's front page.
From the South's viewpoint.
From the duration of the war. Like, this book has not been published in a long time. And it's not dangerous. There's nothing in the book other than the reprints of the old. It's just like a shrunk down image of the newspaper, right? So you can still read it, but it's kind of small. But there's no essays, there's no opinions. It's just a reprint of something from, at that point, of like 120 years old.
Back when news was actually more news?
At this point, yeah. At this point, it's getting, closer to 180 years old. But like, if you want to study what happened during the Civil War before Civil War II breaks out, it's a good idea to go back to the source material and not opinions of people.
Well, this is exactly why the news landscape of today is so totally fucked up. I mean, you and I were opinion guys because that's what we do.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very hard to find news people anymore. It's like Megyn Kelly? No, of course, opinion. Sean Hannity, opinion. Bill O'Reilly pretends at least to be a news more than opinion.
He's never been news. He's always been opinion. Even when
he was on his other. He has, with what he's doing now, he has changed that format.
Okay.
But again, that's the world that he comes from. I don't know who you look at today. I mean, I certainly wouldn't look at, Tim Pool or, anybody on
that's all opinion.
Yeah. It's like, so where do you go to for actual news? It's getting harder to find it. I understand.
The View.
They are the hard-hitting ABC News. They'll bring you the truth.
I think so. I think The View is where the real news lives these days.
Well, and you make a very good point, because I think if we look at the history.
Okay. So I do have the answer for that, all kidding aside. I'll tell you where I look for the news, and I think where a lot more people are looking for the news is X.com.
But that's so dangerous.
There's a lot of opinion on there, but also that is by hours, quite often, the first place that news stories break.
Well, and
It's
it
where
often
you
turns out
first
to be
find out
incorrect
that Charlie
because they
Kirk
rush.
was shot.
True. But then you also have so much things that are wrong because people just as being first is the goal over accuracy. But I think the news really changed with Jon Stewart, and I don't think he meant to change news. I think he meant to just do a funny show.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden people were like, hey, I can get my news from this guy.
Yeah. I can get my news from that,
Comedian?
MTV guy,
Yes.
Adam Curry.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, this is exactly it.
And that's a good thing because people finally started realizing the news has always been entertainment. There is nothing magical about the news, nothing sacred about it. If you look again at newspapers from 100 years ago, you will see they are full of lies, just like they are today. Because the point of a newspaper is to sell advertising, just like every media channel that exists, just like YouTube. The point of all of these things is to sell advertising. The reason that news is common as a whole category is because people are hardwired from our ancestral days to fear things. We fear the unknown. And so we are made to want information about the world. What is out there? What is happening? What does that lightning strike actually mean? Is God, is he mad at us? What's going on?
Very
We
mad.
want to know these things. And so we're going to pay attention to that a lot more than we are to things that, maybe we don't really need to know because they're not new. So the idea of news isn't any different than any other style of entertainment. It's just entertainment that utilizes an inherent human, I would say evolutionary derived need for updates on what is happening that may affect me.
But I think there was a time when broadcast television started.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the history, having the news program was something that was a part of the deal for getting the license, because the news programming at the time was not the moneymaker. That was the last thing on the line. It was not the moneymaker.
Yeah.
They had to have the news, which is why all these channels did their primetime programming, and then we'll have the news.
Yeah, it was considered programming in the public interest.
Yes.
Which
Now,
you had to have for an FCC license. You had to have programming in public interest.
This is, I think, where the golden age was, where you were much more likely to get honest, accurate information because they weren't pumping for drug companies or any other advertiser.
Unlike now, yeah.
Oh, it's hilarious when you watch, and I mean, I'm guessing it's any, but when I have turned on Fox or News Nation, which is owned by WGN, the amount of ads.
WGN is still around? Holy shit.
Yeah, WGN is still around. They own or spawned the CW. I don't know exactly the ownership.
Okay. All right.
But they are the ones that started News Nation, which I didn't even realize until recently that, that's the WGN News, the Beyond Chicago version, because there was always a split in WGN with a lot of people didn't know as well, which is there was WGN that we got here in Chicago over the airwaves. Yeah. And then there was the WGN that went nationwide over cable, which didn't share all the same programming.
You know what that stands for, right?
World's greatest newspaper.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Which it wasn't obviously about the New York Times or the...
No, Chicago's always kind of had a second city thing going.
It's about the Chicago Tribune Company, which had to sell that off, and they had to sell off the Cubbies and all the poor Tribune. I mean, the news...
Yeah. It was a thing. Like, that to me, from my days when I was in Chicago a lot, I always stayed across the street from the Tribune.
They were always pumping out them papers, baby.
Yeah. It was. I almost don't ever want to go back to Chicago just to not fuck with my good, fond memories of that city.
Yeah, you want to remember it the way it was.
The chocolate smell and going to what was that place?
The lack of being shot.
Well, yeah, lack of being shot. Yes. What was the name of well, obviously the House of Blues going there, but also the that commentator restaurant or whatever, that baseball
Carrie
restaurant
Carey's.
thing. Or Carrie Carey's, yeah, or bar or whatever. Like all that was in a very close by dense area within a few blocks of where I always stayed. So those memories of Chicago are very positive. I had a lot of fun in Chicago. I went to a ton of bars in Chicago.
Oh yeah.
And had a great old time. And that was one of the big, huge distinctions back then, is that in Minneapolis, the bars closed at 1 a.m. In Chicago, they close at 5.
Because they wanted you to go out and have a good time.
Because if they close at 5, you've got a couple hours to take a shower before you go to work.
Right. Not only that, we didn't even have to stop at home, though, depending where you were getting your shower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. True story, that.
But if it was back when I was in college, it was great. You'd be like, you want to go to class or you want to go over to Hooters? Oh, let's go to Hooters.
Mm-hmm.
Made the little drive over from DePaul University.
I was going to say, that was DePaul, right?
Yeah. There were some great record stores in the city of Chicago. Rose Records was huge before Tower Records came in.
Mm-hmm.
But you could get anything. You can go over to Ed DeBevick's, was a great place to go grab a burger and, have a very rude waitress.
Yeah. There used to be some good steakhouses out there too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Carson's for ribs was great. Now there's so much that was, and maybe I was just a moron, but spending time downtown between the ages, of 17, I think was probably the first time I went down there, with me driving, or going down on the train, whatever, without parents or anything.
Yeah.
Between like 17 and 25, spent a lot of time in downtown Chicago and never once felt like, oh, this is sketchy.
Mm-hmm.
This is dangerous. Like now, shit.
Yeah, until you go up to the first level of Wacker Drive.
Dude, I remember going like 18 years old, lower Wacker Drive to the Billy Goat Tavern. Yeah, there were some homeless folks down there even then. Yeah. But nobody was bothering you because I think if you bothered people,
exactly. It was, relatively speaking, it was very safe.
Uh-huh.
But it looked shady.
Oh, the Billy Goat looks like the shadiest place in the history of places. You're like, wait, there's a burger place down here?
And that's the thing that doesn't exist in Texas anymore. At least I should say in Austin anymore, because all those places have been gentrified. They just don't exist anymore. But when I went to New York, and a buddy of mine told me, I was like, oh yeah, you got to go to this Russian mafia hangout bar.
Of course, for you, that would make perfect sense, because then you could drop some Russian on them.
Yeah, so I go there, and it's just like a place I would never fucking go. It's
why? Why is that?
It's grimy. It's not. It's kind of like what you described Billy Goats as.
Everybody's wearing the same color tracksuit.
No, I wish. There's only one guy there in a tracksuit other than me. Obviously, I wear my tracksuit, but it's just like, it's probably about, first of all, they got a big pro-Ukrainian sign on the fucking door.
Wait, at the Russian mob hangout?
Russian mob hangout, yeah, which technically that actually does make sense, because
it was like a mindfuck.
Ukrainians were the mob, not actual Russians.
Oh, it wasn't
Ukrainians
like, hey,
were the corrupt part of Russia.
It wasn't subterfuge to make people on the outside think that they weren't a Russian mob hangout.
Yeah, right.
You never know.
So you got that right off the bat. Then it's little dirty, tiny little hallway to get in there. And then you would think, okay, well, it's got to be great on the inside, right? Because you're thinking Godfather type movies, and it's all about the back room,
right? It's going to open.
Well,
up
we
into
rented
heaven.
the back room, and it sucked. It was god awful, and the bathroom was tiny, and it was like on and on and on of how horrible this place is. And I'm like, oh my God, this is the thing that I was told, you got to go there. That's a must visit. Like, no, bullshit. This sucks. This is not a must visit anything.
Oh, you want your borscht.
I wouldn't tell and somebody who I didn't like even to bother going there. It's
probably subpar vodka.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't drink anymore, but it's the atmosphere was not good. Let's put it that way.
A lot of places are like that. And it used to be, it used to be because they wanted it to have that atmosphere. Now I think things have just
dive bar look. I mean, this place, if you look at Cheers, which was meant to be kind of a dive bar, this was 10 times worse.
I remember going to a place in the foothills of Phoenix called Greasewood Flats, which was mainly an outdoor bar that the building
in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah. The fact that the building was still even standing was kind of amazing because it looked like it shouldn't be. It kind of just
I think you have an outdoor bar with a place that has a temperature of 130 degrees.
It's nighttime, baby. There were actually fire pits. It gets cold at night in the desert.
Yeah, it does get cold. That is one good thing about being in the desert is it cools off because there's nothing that traps the heat.
And they had a bunch of these dogs. Most of them, I think, were German Shepherds that I think were all alcoholics. And every time somebody would drop a beer, the dogs were there just going to town, man.
Really?
That's gone now, sadly. But it was, just a bad burger beer kind of joint with some dude sitting there strumming on a guitar under the nice star. You could see the stars back in the day in Phoenix. But it's like that kind of a place. That was the ultimate in just dive bar kind of. I mean, it was outside, but
yeah,
it's like there was something to it. There was something magical about it because it was meant to be that way, not like, wow, we stopped at a place to get a burger and it just looks like it shouldn't be sanitary at all, or it's not sanitary.
I've never been a fan of dive bars. Back when I drank, I liked nice bars a lot more.
Oh, well, of course, you're Gene. You've got a caviar guy. You've got a boat guy. Well, not anymore. You had to fire the boat guy.
Nah, I don't have either one of these days, but it's like there's no reason there was no reason to have to go to a dive bar because the number of bars that were nice was huge.
But the people, it was a different clientele. You got to rub elbows with the real folks instead of the hoi polloi. And
I don't know who that is.
Ned, 2,000 sats. Here's some fishing money that Darren asked for. If I'm fishing for something, it's going to cost way more than 2,000 sats.
Yeah,
but
what are you fishing for?
I don't know. It's usually just money. So, I mean, I guess there's
exactly.
In Detroit, where Ned is, you never know. Just you've got to bring a couple bulletproof vests and.
Yeah, I mean, Detroit is not a Muslim state these days.
I think it's getting there.
Yeah.
Kind of like Minneapolis, man. I remember Minneapolis. Totally. It was great fun.
I remember the first time I ever went to downtown Minneapolis as a kid.
Yeah, the whitest city you've ever been to back in the 80s.
Yeah, super white. It was very impressive because every building was connected to every other building. So you could say indoors, but they were connected by these glass bridges on the second floor of every building.
Well, yeah, because it gets cold there.
Skyway system.
Right.
Yeah, because it's cold there. But it's also air conditioned during summer because it does get hot in the summer. It has, I think that area, well, probably Minnesota, not just Minneapolis, but that whole area has the biggest temperature swing of anywhere. It is minus 40 in the winter, and it is plus 110 in the summer. So it's a 150 degree swing over the course of a year. There's very few places on earth that experience that.
True. And the homeless dudes were very friendly.
Yearly regular occurrence there.
I remember being up there for a couple
baseball
of
game?
country concerts.
That would have been my second guess. Yes.
And that was where the one artist that I was working for did a TV made for TV special that was recorded in one of those theaters there. And I remember
they had some pretty theaters back there too.
Oh yeah, they did. Beautiful city. Really, it was very nice.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we were standing out on like in one of the parking lots, like on one of the street corners, and we had beers in our hands, and like a homeless dude like walked up to us, and he's like, "Hey, be careful! The cops will hassle you for drinking on the streets."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're like, "Here's a few beers. Go on your way." But thank you for the warning of they're gonna hassle you, man. You can't be drinking on the sidewalks now.
No, you should leave this to me.
Now
Let
you
the
can
professionals do it.
Yeah, now you can shoot up heroin, and they're like, "Okay, that's fine."
Yeah.
They used to hassle you for having a fucking Coors Light. Horrible beer.
Yeah. Well, you can't have the Coors Light because Muslims don't drink.
Well, true.
But you can do the heroin because
that's okay.
Muslims invented it.
It is interesting when you see. I go through phases of watching the YouTube travel videos, which are way more interesting than anything I've ever seen on network television.
Yeah.
When they go into places like Afghanistan, and it's like you're watching it, and they seem like the friendliest fucking people in the world.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Not like, oh, no, if you go there, you're going to get you may get your head blown off. I don't know.
Well, you might. Yeah.
I did see something that Trump is hinting that they're getting Bagram Air Base back because the Afghanis want to make a deal of some sort. So that would be the Taliban.
We'll be able to rent it back after we built it? Okay.
Probably, yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
It's like, again, thanks, Joe Biden, for, well, not because he didn't really have anything to do with it. Whoever was pulling the strings on the Joe Biden puppet that day, thanks.
The Joe Biden Muppet?
Yes. Well, somebody should do a Joe Biden Muppet. Too soon? Is it too soon? I don't know. And then people are saying that
I could.
Somebody thinks that, AOC thinks she can be a viable presidential candidate in 2 years.
No, I think she's going to run.
It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah. I mean, if they can elect a gay communist Muslim mayor in New York, why wouldn't they elect her as their representative?
Well, New York, I could see. The rest of the country, I'm not so sure. Although, again, as we've been talking about.
You mean she's running for president? I thought you meant she's running for Senate.
No, she's running for president.
Chuck Schumer's old spot.
Yeah, she wants to run for president, which I don't think the country's quite ready for that.
Stretch.
Yeah. She's the new Bernie Sanders, I guess.
I'm all for it. I'm going to support her candidacy.
As long as she does all of her stump speeches in a bikini?
No, not anymore, man. She's many years away from that.
Gene's like, nope.
Like an old hag at this point.
You have aged out.
Yeah.
Gene at SirGene.com.
Yeah. But I think she hit her peak during their college video years. You saw that video, remember that? Her music video that was she was a performer in a musical advertisement for Boston University.
Well, yeah, she's an actress.
Yeah. Well, actress / barista. Come on.
Oh,
give her credit.
Hey, if you can make a good coffee, I'm all for you doing that.
Yeah.
I like a nice coffee. Like grinding the beans. I'm still not sure exactly how fine of a bean grind I need for a old Mr. Coffee. I mean, I'm thinking it's more in the medium.
What the kind of grind you need for an old Mr. Coffee is you need to buy new Mr. Coffee.
Oh, that's true. I was looking at one that was a Black & Decker or something. You can get a really nice basic coffee pot for like under $50, like all the bells and whistles.
Hey, what's a Los Calientes Rojo?
Los Calientes Rojo?
Yeah.
Why do you bring up Los Calientes?
Because I'm looking at food.
We're not supposed to talk about Los Calientes Rojo.
Are we not? Is that a topic we don't cover?
It's on the bingo card now.
Uh-oh.
We didn't even mention Taylor Swift.
No.
Or we mentioned the caviar guy.
Mm-hmm.
If we mentioned Ryan Bemrose and his Angry Tech News, which is like a year since the last episode.
But okay.
That's...
I don't know why you keep promoting a show that's been dead forever.
Some people would say it was never really allowed because, I mean, again, dude, I'm redoing it in AI. He won't even know.
He's not going to know. You might as well make the money instead of him.
People will start being like, hey, Ryan, love the show. What? Where?
Yeah. Now, if you wait long enough, you could probably buy that web domain because he's not going to bother re-upping it.
Oh, true. It'll drop
and
back
then you
out.
Just take over the feed.
Be ready with the AI.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's getting closer. And I think
here's what I think the real turn will be in the next turn for this AI relating to podcasting is when you can generate a podcast in real time on the fly. Not like go through 20 steps like this, but basically just say, today's topic is going to be Taylor Swift and Legos. Go. And knowing all the back episodes, it'll just generate a full episode and add it to the feed.
Well, this is where I was just looking for an article. Somebody had just put money in. I think it was Amazon or Netflix just put a bunch of money into an AI company promising fairly similar to what you're saying here, but for television shows. Yeah, here, Amazon backs AI startup that will let you make your own TV show.
Ooh, I like that.
Fable's showrunner will let you create episode with just a few words. And I can see this is where it's going, where you can be like, sci-fi, female protagonist doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And, make it funny or make it serious. And boom, it'll just create the content out of nothing. Of course, it has to take a lot of information and that has come beforehand, which will be the interesting battleground there. Well, can you train this on existing television shows?
Catfish?
They are starting. You should get some catfish.
Some fried pickles with that?
Well, you got to have fried pickles and some hush puppies.
I don't like hush puppies.
You don't like hush puppies? What's wrong with you?
Man. Too many carbs.
Animation, of course, coming first, but then they are thinking they can translate that into photorealism as well.
Mm-hmm. I think they can, probably.
You think it'll be used for porn, Ned? No, I can't see where.
No. I can't imagine that tech being used for porn at all.
I mean, again, this would be exactly what is going to kill needing real actresses or actors in porn or anything else. The fact that people will be able and you're not going to be able to do anything about it. They're going to fight this shit, but most of this stuff is open sourced.
Yep.
Where people if you think you're going to be able to stop somebody from going, Scarlett Johansson giving a blowjob, and that's not going to do it. No, we're there already.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very interesting when you're like, well, will this create content that is engaging enough for people to continue to use it? I mean, it would have to be pretty good. Mm-hmm. Beyond the trying it once and laughing at what it did for you to keep going back. But then question becomes, well, who owns the content? If nobody, will this be something that like these sites that I use now, like Tensor.art, where, you create something and then you post it. Well, will this be the same kind of thing where people will be, this will be like a new YouTube where thousands of people will be creating their own series of shows that people can then come and watch, and then they'll get a kickback for if it's something that becomes popular, they'll get a kickback or they'll actually start getting ad money.
Yeah. Well, X lets you do something like that, doesn't it?
Kind of. Yeah. If you can have a subscriber, of course, on X. Mm-hmm. And I think if you have a large enough audience, which I don't think anybody we know has, you can then monetize that content. But I find that to be so douchey on X. It makes me hate people, which Sean Hannity does. I mean, I see it pop up and it's like, you have to pay to view this. I'm like, fuck you.
Oh, yeah. Because you see the message. And then it says, for subscribers or whatever, for members only.
Like, I'm not bald about that on X.
I generally am prompted just to unsubscribe at that point.
Yeah. It's like, well, if you're doing that,
then
you really don't want me as a subscriber. You just want the people that are paying money.
Yeah.
It's the antithesis of value for value. You're like,
I don't even think it's that bad a thing. It's just the presentation. Like they completely didn't plan this right. YouTube does a much better job where you have free content that has advertising in it, and you can also donate to that person.
yes,
And that's the bit they're missing here is that they should have more of like, hey, I like this guy's content. I will get it a lot. I'm going to donate $10 to him.
Now, I know people have subscriptions on YouTube. Is there any gate wall? I've never really looked into it. Is there gate walled content then if you only can see?
Absolutely. But nobody knows about it unless you subscribe, which is the way it should be. Because then if somebody's not a subscriber, they're not like prompted like, oh, look at all the shit you don't get.
Right.
That it doesn't do you any good to talk about the shit you don't get unless you think it's so compelling it's going to get somebody to subscribe.
Well, this is why it took me a long time to subscribe to the Ted Nugent Nuge Vault. One they finally had to run a coupon. You could tell not a lot of people were doing it, but the one thing they didn't tell you, they say, hey, well, we've got unheard audio concerts and we've got video you haven't seen and concerts and that kind of stuff.
Right.
But they didn't mention how much. And I'm like, I'm not willing to give any money.
No.
You should at least have a listing of, hey, we got 12 shows, we got 20 shows, we got, here's the content that you're going to get.
Right.
Now, I'm allegedly getting 2 autographed Super Gonzo items from Uncle Ted, so we'll see if those are interesting or not. Because there's a big difference between if you're going to send something that is, an 8x10 photo as opposed to something that has a little more, heft to it. I know they're selling like RIAA awards and stuff. Now, if you send something nice, then you probably get a subscriber for life, although Uncle Ted's in his mid-70s, so I don't know how much longer, he's going to be doing his thing as well. We all have expiration dates, Gene.
Yeah, I've liked his hunting content. I have zero interest in any other content he's done.
Oh, how about when he hunted?
Not interesting otherwise.
The keyboards. I thought that was... I bought a video, and he was like, have you... Because we went to a shop in Michigan.
Yeah.
He's like, have you seen this? And I'm like, no. He's like, you are not ready for what's on here. And he was right. The beginning, he's out in the woods with a shotgun, and then I think he goes to a sidearm, and there's a big keyboard out there. And he just blows the keyboard away. And he walks up and he picks up a little Casio, and it's like, oh no, it's spawned.
Right.
Uncle Ted is crazy. I love him. He's sadly like the one conservative voice in rock and roll.
He's not the one. Kid Rock is a definitely conservative voice.
True. Kid Rock is picking that up. They're both Detroit fucking maniacs.
Yeah, Kid Rock is in his late 50s, dude.
And he'll be around for a while. He's hanging out with the Donald. He's getting the call. When the Donald's like, hey, should we go in and bomb Iran? He's calling up Kid Rock.
Exactly. Kid Rock's working on that angle,
He's like, Bobby, you think we should blow up some people? Oh, yeah. Yeah, boss. Whatever you think is cool. We having another party down there in the Oval Office. Come on, show me the blowjob room again. Now he's got all Donald Trump merchandise in the blowjob room. I mean, thank you, Bill Clinton.
Is that right?
Yeah. The blowjob room is now filled
apparently
with
Kid
Trump
Rock has
merch.
one of the nicest houses.
Well,
I've heard multiple other famous people talk about it.
From what I read,
like his place makes the White House look like it's cheap.
Well, and what I read, I'm not even sure there's a bedroom. I'm guessing there has to be one, but it's like a 21 room house with one bedroom. It's like, it's just all party stuff.
Yeah.
He's like,
Which
one,
is what it should be.
I don't want to have anybody sleeping over. So fuck you. One bedroom. It's like Gene. If you go into Austin, you don't stay at Gene's place.
You definitely don't. No.
Nope. There's a hotel. I'll show you where it is.
There's a couple of very nice ones I can point you at.
You can even get there on the train.
Theoretically from Chicago, you could.
That'll be it. Maybe next year for the big race at the Circuit of the Americas, COTA.
Of the Americas, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
So, you have anything else going on this week? We are coming to an end of another Unrelenting.
We are, I know. No,
Time
the only
flies.
thing I mentioned just for the bingo card purposes is I'm almost done, and I'm almost to the point of having one Gray Zone, the video game.
Woo!
Yeah.
Another video game down. What should Gene play next?
I know, right? It's it's actually been a really fun game. It's one of the best military sims out there that I've ever played. Very realistic, uses actual guns, and actual guns are made of actual gun parts.
I mean, as much as they're virtual and in a virtual world.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it is a simulation, so that's kind of by default it's supposed to be virtual. But unlike things like Battlefield or Call of Duty, which take the concept of a military shooter and then simply
gamify.
Yeah, just hey, let's make this fun, because people don't want to, think about too much realism.
Right, they want to be able to fly off a roof.
It completely it takes the concept of military simulation and tries to stick as closely as possible. Like for that game, if it doesn't exist in the real world, it's never going to be in the game. There's no future weapons in there. It's all like current stuff used by actual countries.
Reality. Catch it, tell Gene what to play, and then come back and be unrelenting.